Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to my Inbox 23 video. This one is just all the second-hand material I've got over the past couple of months. Although there is one brand new album I'm going to show at the end, it's a bit special. This is probably going to be my last video for Inbox for quite a while because I'm not buying any records now, not for a long time. So the last one came in, was it on Wednesday of last week or Thursday of last week? And so I'm just, that's it. I'm decided I'll wait till all this COVID-19 is over, see what my financial state is like, and then maybe buy some more if I want. But for the moment, that's me for buying records. So as I say, these are all second hand. Some of them are upgrades, a couple. Some are albums I've been really looking for. And quite a few of them are actually add-ons. Whenever I bought something new off Discogs, I checked in the under £5 bin to see if there was anything I fancied, providing that there was no addition to the postage. So quite a few of them are those, and I've really actually enjoyed these cheapo ones as well. So we'll start off with an upgrade, and this is the Beach Boys Surf's Up. Now the copy I had before was pretty wrecked, and I bought this actually a couple of months ago from the local record shop. Johnny had this. He actually sent me a message saying it was in if I was interested, and this is in great condition. This is not one of their best. I like the Beach Boys. I love the Beach Boys in the 60s. I think they're fantastic. But I struggle with the Beach Boys in the 70s. I think their last really great album was Sunflower. I know this came shortly after it, but there's still some really good stuff off this. The only thing I just do not like is Student Demonstration Time. I just think, oh no, that's terrible. But it's really good to have this, and I played it that day and I thought, yeah, it's not a bad album, but give me anything up to and including Sunflower. It's far better. But anyway, that's Surf's Up by the Beach Boys. Of course the track Surf's Up's on this, which is excellent, but that goes without saying. This is another one that I got as an upgrade. Now the reason I bought this is my parents had this whenever I was a kid, and I always really liked it, but it's really scratched to hell. And I really did fancy getting this, and this was either 99p or 1.99. I thought, yeah, I want that, because I always loved the Mitch Miller song Yellow Rose of Texas. I still do. And I also loved the Stonewall Jackson's Waterloo. Fantastic. And the other one I really loved at the time was Marty Robbins' A White Sports Coat, and it's a really good album. I'm so glad to get it, and it is in really good nick. So that's 20 all-time greats of the 50s. It's the first time I ever heard Johnny Cash as well, singing Don't Take Your Guns to Town. So Frankie Lane's High Noons on this, as well as Guy Mitchell singing the blues. So it is a really good album. So really pleased to have found this in really good shape for such little money. Okay, the next one up, and this is a band I was actually playing this morning. You know, with this COVID-19, you're stuck in the house and you start feeling a bit down the dumps, and I watched Ray Dorset do his In the Summertime and Keep Your Hands Up, or Keep Your Hands Off, for, you know, the YouTube that at home, playing at home. And he made a complete hash of In the Summertime, and I never laughed so much in my life. He was laughing as well. But I bought this the previous week, and this is Ray Dorset and Mungo Jerry. This is their 1979 album. Now I always sort of hemmed and hawed about this, because come the mid-70s Mungo Jerry sort of went a little bit too rockabilly rock and roll, and it wasn't their style. This is a rockabilly rock and roll, but this is really good. This is the best of their Polydor albums. I think they had 3 of them, Living in the Alley, Fighting in the Streets, and Impala Saga. But to me this is really excellent. Like, We're Okay is fantastic, Sugar Mama, Give It All You've Got. It's just a real fun album, and Mungo Jerry are fun. I think that's the best way to describe them. And whenever you are feeling down or anyway a little bit depressed, stick on Mungo Jerry. It really does raise your spirits. So Really pleased to have this now. So Mungo Jerry, Ray Dorset and Mungo Jerry. They did record material in the 80s and 90s, but it gets very confusing because I don't know whether all of it is actually legit or it's bootlegs or where it's released, and a lot of stuff is re-recorded. It's like a minefield, or 80s and 90s stuff. But the 70s albums, I actually do recommend them all, although the Polydor ones aren't quite as good. This is a twofer, and this is brilliant, and I couldn't believe this. And this was less than a tenner, and this is Tim Hardin 1 and Tim Hardin 2, and these are two brilliant albums, singer-songwriter. So many excellent songs like Don't Make Promises, Reason to Believe, that's on Tim Hardin 1. I think Tim Hardin 2 is slightly better, and the most famous songs of that were If I Were a Carpenter, Black Sheep Boy, which I adore, Lady Came from Baltimore. I know Scott Walker used to sing a few of his, and obviously Reason to Believe was done by so many people, including Rod Stewart. So Tim Hardin 1 and Tim Hardin 2, I saw that and I thought, I'm buying that, and it is great, so great to have. Obviously I prefer to have them as two individual albums, you know, not completely separated, rather than these twofers, which I'm not keen on, but still they're too expensive to buy them individually. This one here, in the last second hand video I showed the Radio Stars debut album. I said I was going to get the second one, and I did, and this is every bit as good as the first one. So the Radio Stars, this is called Holiday Album, and this is the one with No Russians in Russia. Yeah, it is. Another really strong album. Martin Gordon is the lead songwriter on this. Andy Ellison, who was with John's Children, is the lead singer. Martin Gordon also was in the Island period with Sparks. Yeah, an excellent sort of punk album. It's slightly more melodic than punk, but it's really good. Yeah, I can't recommend these two albums high enough. They're really excellent. They do actually do a version of Norwegian Wood, which is not half bad either. It's different. The Beatles song. So this is Holiday Album by Radio Stars. I bought this because it was only a £5 and I never had it, and I never had the 12-inch the full length version of Cat People on vinyl. I thought, yeah, I'll get it. I'm sure I won't like the rest of it, but it's like soundtrack music and it's not bad. It's obviously Giorgio Moroder, with David Bowie supplying the lyrics for the title song. This is the version of Cat People I like. I don't like the Let's Dance version. I think I made a comment in John Kerwin's video. That's a plug, by the way, John Kerwin. I'm going to put a link below. He's been rating all the David Bowie albums. He's from Dublin. He's a fantastic guy, and he tells it as it is as well. Like if he says he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. If he says he loves it, he loves it. But yeah, I'll put a link below. He said that he likes the actual Let's Dance version of Cat People. I don't. I do like the music. I do like the Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar. I said Bowie's vocals I don't like, and I prefer this version. If Bowie sang the Let's Dance version the way he did this version, I would have preferred it, but well, you can't have everything. So this here's good to have, and it's not a bad soundtrack album. It's nothing special, but the full version of Cat People is good to have. And I lied, I did actually have it of the 12-inch single. So I bought this, and this says it's $10.99. It wasn't, it was $2.99. And this is 1985 Paul McCartney. I haven't even opened it yet. This must have been released a couple of years ago. Let me see, 2016, 4 years ago. So there must be quite a few stocks left. If the seller was selling it for $2.99, originally it was $10.99. And this has the original mix on it from Band on the Run. A radio edit, which I will open and listen to that. And then the club mix at 5 minutes and 8 seconds. I don't know what to think about that. I'll give it a go, but I'll probably be shaking my head. So McCartney's 1985, or 1985 as it should really be called. So that 12-inch single. Now, a lot of these ones I was saying that I bought because they were add-ons, and this is one of them, and I was delighted to get this. And this is Shalimar, The Greatest Hits, which is one album of all their hits and then a 12-inch single. Not interested in the 12-inch single, but I really have always loved A Night to Remember, There It Is, I Can Make You Feel Good, Disappearing Act, Dead Giveaway, and Friends. Always loved those songs, so I thought, yep, I'll go for that. $1.99. Definitely, it is good fun, and some of the other earlier stuff's pretty good as well. Didn't know it, but it's still pretty good. And this is another one that I picked up, the 3 Degrees. Yo, I only did that there because of the two songs, When Will I See You Again and Take Good Care of Yourself. I'm still yet to play it. It only came in last week, but I'll give it a spin soon, so at least I know I've got those songs. I have this other 3 Degrees. It's like Greatest Hits album, but it's not really. It's the later stuff from the very late 70s. So this here is the sort of stuff I would want, and this is on the Orange Epic label. So 3 Degrees. Sheila Ferguson, I think, is the lead singer of them. And anyone that knows me knows I'm a little bit of a sort of early 70s glam rock pop fan, and I bought a Rubettes album. And I'm not ashamed to say I think this is really good. It's revivalist rock and roll. The single off this did quite well, Fody OD, but the song Judy Run Run is really, really good. It's glam rock and roll revivalist basically, but I always enjoyed the Rubettes. I enjoyed their singles, Sugar Baby Love, Tonight, Jukebox Jive, I Can Do It, all good stuff, and the albums are actually quite good. This is not my first Rubettes album, I have a couple other ones as well. I would like to get Where It's At on vinyl. I have it in CD, but again, it's going to have to be well below a fiver. So Rubettes, just self-titled Rubettes. And this is even more embarrassing, and this is actually quite good, and it's Middle of the Road, Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep, with a #1 hit, Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep, and similarly titled Tweedledee Tweedledum. Yeah, Sally Carr, I always liked her voice, and I always thought she was gorgeous looking as well. She always wore hot pants, but there you go, that's the early 70s. My favourite song off theirs is Sole Sole, which I adore, but it's not on this. I think it's on the next album. But I Can't Tell the Bottom from the Top's on this. Yellow River, the song that was a hit for Christie. It's a nice listen. For I think this was 99p, you just can't go wrong, and it increases my sort of glammy early 70s tat. But yeah, I enjoy it. You have to have guilty pleasures in life. If you don't, well, what's point in living? So, Middle of the Road, Chirpy Chirpy Cheep Cheep. Okay, these next 4 albums I'm going to show very, very quickly because this video is going on. No, sorry, there's one more before the other 4. I'll do this first. And this is another one at 99p, and this is Pat Benatar. This is her second album. I've always been picking up Pat Benatar whenever I see them really, really cheap. I especially wanted to hear her version of Kate Bush's Wuthering Heights, and it's not half bad. It's nowhere near the original, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. But yeah, this is the one I want. I've got most of her early 80s albums now, up to about 85, 86. They're okay, they're nothing overly special, but I would never throw them away or throw them out or give them away or anything, because they're actually not bad. Her first album's the best, and this is probably her second best. Although there's a song off the third one called Shadows of the Night, which I've always loved. So Pat Benatar, and I'm not even too sure what this is called, Crimes of Passion. I think it's their second album. Okay, these next 4 albums, and this is probably maybe the direction I will go whenever I do get completely fed up with the same old stuff, and that's classical. This here I think is funny, the way it says the best of Beethoven. I'm sure a lot of classical buffs will be going, how dare they call an album the best of Beethoven, but as a sort of dipping your toes into the water, this is actually quite good. And the best of Strauss. And then I bought these are all Rubco albums, every one of them, and Music for the Seasons, Spring, which has got a lot of different composers on it, and Music for Seasons, Autumn, which has got a lot of composers on it as well. Yeah, they're good. I enjoy them. I really do. Sometimes I think classical music is best on CD, and it might stop me from buying more, although I do prefer vinyl. But with the very, very soft pieces, I think the CD is probably the better way to go. I do have those classical experience CDs, the double ones that were released in the 90s. I've got the first 4 volumes of those, and they're really good. So we'll see how that goes. And lastly, the new vinyl, and it is David Bowie. Is it any wonder? It's like a mini LP of 6 songs. 3 of them are 97 re-recordings, like Baby Universal, the Tin Machine song, Stay, which is from the Station to Station. This is a really good version here as well. And I Can't Read, which I had on single because it was released back in the late 90s anyway. So those 3, Baby Universal is excellent. There's the live Eno mix of The Man Who Sold the World, which I think is the same as the single released around the outside time. And then 2 songs which I've heard of, Fun and Nuts, which are not bad. 97 is not my favourite year for Bowie at all. It says drum and bass year, it's not my scene. But they're not bad. Nuts and Fun, they're more sort of dancey type things. But I had to pick this up and add to the Bowie collection. It's hard to get the CD of this as well, I don't have it, which I would really like, just so I can rip them onto the computer. So that's David Bowie, Is It Any Wonder, and this is hard to get. I think there's only so many, like 3,000 copies made or something like that. So if you see it and you're a Bowie fan, you better get it now before it shoots up in price. Okay, that's my inbox 23. I hope you enjoyed that, and that'll be my last inbox for quite a while, as I said at the start of this video. Okay, I hope everybody's keeping safe. It's about the 3rd or 4th week now in the lockdown, and it does mess with your head more than anything. But stay safe, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.